Sam, where's Gigi? We're going to go through some loot drops from Rift 4 now. And what better way to start than on a fail? An epic fail at that. So I'm just going to go through what I've been doing is screenshotting at the end of each of my rifts, also the unsuccessful ones, and I just thought it'd be nice to pull it all together in a video so those of you that aren't yet up to Rift 4 can have a look at some of the things that you could expect to receive. It's a lot of mana, spoiler alert, a lot of mana, but you do also get some really good stuff as well. So as you can see here, the best one I would say out of this is clearly the 3-star Rainbow Mon. You do get a lot of Rainbow Mons, which is really handy if you are looking at, I guess, a quicker way to level up or 6-star some of your Mons as well. That was a very sweet speed rune. I don't think I've used that one yet. I don't have anyone on Nemesis, so, well, I've got Villajul on Nemesis, but he doesn't have speed subs. So that one's just sitting there currently. That's a really awesome rage grindy for, well, if you've got Eshia, which Sondog is still hoping for, but as soon as he gets Eshia, that will be a great grindstone there. Oh, mana, mana, mana. Now the mana drops do tend to be a lot higher, as you can see here, well, 13,000, but tends to be around sort of 16 to 18,000 on average, I'd say. That is a brilliant speed grindstone, and I was so jealous of that guy. It's probably the one thing that I've really been focusing on getting out of this more than anything, because I really want to look at improving my burning speed. Enchanted gems, to be honest, I find them really difficult. As you can see here, I've got one for focus and it's resistance. I'm never going to use that, honestly. I could possibly put it on Briand, but you know, I'd need a flat stat to grind it out to resistance for it to be worth it, and to risk 6% when you, I don't know, I just don't see it's worth it. It is if you get a crit rate, grindstone for example, on Fatal, Blade or Rage, but for the most part, you know, particularly when it's resistance, I find it pretty useless. I kept it, it's still sitting in storage. So these are flat stat ones that we get, obviously this was Sondog, but any of those that I get I do sell. I just don't find them useful at all. I think I'd rather use an enchanted gem to get rid of the flat stat than look at grinding flat stats to higher. It's just not worth it for me. That speed grindstone I did use on, I think I used that one on Emma, to be honest, just for a little bit of extra speed for her. Blade grindstones are fantastic. Any of the attack series, really, so Fatal, Blade, Rage, awesome to get some extra speed there for sure. And then Rainbow Mons for us. This was an interesting one for Sondog, an accuracy grindstone, enchanted gem. With Blade, same sort of thing, like you don't tend to look for accuracy subs typically with your Blade sets, but you know, if you do have that on there, then it's an extra 5 to 8%, which is super handy. The Vampire enchanted gem sitting in storage. Defense is always handy, but you need to put that on the right rune, and I want to make sure it's worth it when I do use it. Speed again, revenge, awesome. That's kind of the mecca, the holy grail for rifts, if you ask me. That's the one thing that I'm really hoping for, and that's not just for Bernie, for anyone, because it's so critical to get your speed right. And when you've got some really awesome runes, speed is that one thing that can make them from, I guess, take you from good to great, in my opinion. It does suck when you get summoning stones though. It feels like such a burn when you fought so hard, and some of these can take like upwards of 5 minutes as well, and when you're fighting for so long and it's such a high energy cost, to come out of it with 3 summoning stones is pretty sad, I think. Again, you can see a lot of Rainbow Mons coming through. They're all 3-star, which is excellent, because you know, you're walking away with basically a free 4-star, and that's always a good win. Just to let you know as well, the grindstones here, they tend to sell for around 15,000. Not a lot, but it does tend to be equivalent to the mana drops of, you know, as you can see here, we've got 15,000 and 16,000 mana. So that's not too bad at all. Not great, but yeah, it's good enough. More mana, lots and lots of mana. It's more than what you get for R3, absolutely, and obviously on average not as good as what you get in R5, but I am not yet at a point where I can take you guys through R5 and what you can expect there. I'm just Unfortunately, still lagging behind with my R5 team, but the grindstones that I get from R4 certainly help, and now that I've got my Bernie at plus 270 speed, I'm really focusing more so on my Rift team just so I can increase their defense and HP to allow them to then transition over to R5, which will be very exciting. It'll be coming real soon, so keep your eye out for that. Shield, HP, Grindstone Hero, super awesome that one. I don't have many people on Shield, or many of my mons on Shield at the moment, so that's something that will be very handy. I'm thinking maybe Galleon, potentially, if I can get him on Swift Shield next time. The only thing I'm concerned about there is his accuracy, making sure I keep that up. 2 to sell, 1 to keep, as you would expect, same here. You do find that there isn't a difference really in terms of the drops for first, second and third. It's pretty random, and I think that works out pretty well because you do find that you may come first one time and then you come third the next, so with exactly the same team. So let's see here, yeah, there you go. Neji Shield came third, and then the next time we did the run he comes first. So, to keep that random, the drops, I think, keeps it pretty fair. Although you definitely have a fair argument to say that your drops should be based on how much damage you put in, which I can understand as well. Either way, it all tends to work out pretty evenly as long as you've got a steady team or a group that goes in again and again and again. That's awesome grindstone, violent speed. So jealous of Saundog. Yeah. But I've got quite a few of those as well over my time. You find that, if you dedicate a whole energy refill onto R4, because it takes so long, you can get quite a few runs in. I'm not even going to guess, my math is awful, but you can get a lot of runs in, and if you just keep going in again and again, then by the end of it, you go back, have a look at what you've collected in terms of your angel mons, your rainbow mons and grindstones. You probably have a pretty good loot there. If you look at this, 1 in every 4 or 5 tend to be keepable. So yeah, look, I kept that. Anything that's a percentage I do keep because you never know when it's going to come in handy. Kept this one as well. Put that one straight on Alicia, in fact. It was... oh gosh, that really took her to the next level, I'd say, for sure. I was so happy with that. And as you can see from all of these, you are getting a lot of speed grindstones, which is awesome. Speed's probably the biggest one I think that drops. You get a lot of HP as well, and I'm sure in reality it's probably pretty random for all of them, but my eyes just focus on the speed. Lots of flat stats as well. As I said though, I just sell those and happy days. It's a good way to get mana quite quickly as well, and the thing I like is that you can just sort of set it and forget and check back every few minutes, which makes it something really easy to do if you're cooking dinner or doing the groceries or whatever it is that you can't be staring at your phone the whole time. With obviously dungeon runs, they tend to be a bit quicker, particularly if you're clearing those dungeons in 2 minutes, even 3 minutes. I find that most of my R4s are around that 5-minute mark, sometimes longer. So it means that you can really focus on something, finish whatever you're doing, and then just check back here and there, which is handy. This is probably the only run I can think of where we all got something really good. We did all get, I think, rainbow mons during one of the runs, but for the most part you find one person will get something good and the rest of us tend to get either something mediocre or sellable. Like this one here, you sell one's just mana, and then the Vio you'd keep for sure. So the next focus for me obviously will be R5, making sure that a lot of these grindstones go into my R4 team to really help get them to R5, because I think that's really going to be a huge focus for me over the next month, and hopefully I'll be able to improve my arena mons and make a push to Conqueror 2. Guild Wars will be a big focus as well, but my mons for arena tend to be the same for Guild Wars as well, and I really think that Rift at the moment is what's going to take my gameplay to that next level. So by focusing on taking my team from 4 to 5, that's really going to be a focus and a huge impact in getting me to that next level with Arena and Guild Wars, I believe. particularly because I find that my dungeon teams, I'm just not getting the drops. I get a lot of really good drops here in Rift, but in dungeons I've been farming Necro, for example, for 3 months now, and I still don't have a really good rage set, and I'm not being that picky. 6-star attack percent slot 2 and slot 6, and a 6-star crit damage rune would be amazing, and I haven't been able to get any 6-star crit damage runes in over 3 months, and I'm just not getting those slot 2 or slot 4 runes either, which, as you can imagine, makes it very frustrating, hence why I'm focusing more so on Rift, and then I'll grind what I can to really improve and take them to that next level. The scrolls don't tend to drop all that often. I think this is the second one in about 50 runs that we got, so it really does tend to be more so about the grindstones and the enchanted gems, and a lot of mana, of course, as well. And you don't get a lot of summoning stones, but it does happen occasionally. They're kind of like the Mystic Scroll equivalent for Rift. Anyway, there you have it. Hopefully that gave you a little bit more insights into what you can expect to get from R4. And I'd love to hear, if you're sort of stuck at that R3 level, I'd love to hear how that compares. And now that you can see, you know, approximately 30 odd R4 drops, love to hear how that compares to R5 as well, if you've been farming there consistently, because that's, as I said, that next step for me will certainly be R5, and I'd love to see if it's the same sort of thing that you're getting, just, you know, less flat stats and more mana, or if it's pretty similar as well. So any comments, any feedback that you have, please do put those in the comment section below. Love to hear from you, and thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for another video soon. Bye!